All right, so when we look at expanding the back ribs, the biggest thing we want to focus on is breathing into a posture that sets us up to actually get some air into our upper back. So the position we're going to do that from is hands under shoulders, and think about like getting into a position that you're going to do a push-up from the knees from. So you wouldn't do a push-up from the knees from like a typical quadruped position. This would not work. So you want to lean forward, and then I tuck my butt under and squeeze my glutes hard enough that they stay there. It doesn't have to be a max contraction. And from here, my hands, you'll notice, are directly under my shoulders. When I'm here, I'm going to think about protraction of the shoulders, which is nothing more than pushing yourself away from the floor with straight arms. So you can see that kind of rounds my back. And I can further make that more rounded by lifting my back up to the ceiling. Okay, this is the position we want to be in. From here, I want to take a big breath in through my nose, and the goal is to have this breath in be silent, okay? The reason being is that's going to force a lot of control from your inspiratory muscles, and that control, you just don't get the same amount of it if you have to do this. Or that's a reflexive inhale. What I want is a controlled inhale. And that's very, very important as we go along here. So I'm in this position. I'm gonna take a big silent inhale through my nose without losing height in my back. And that is important. Excuse me. So once I get my back up this high, it never comes down, at least voluntarily. So once I'm up here, I am up there for the remainder of the breaths that I'm doing. So from here, I'm going to take a big silent inhale. Now, as I inhale, okay, and that was as an example, when I inhale, I don't want to drop height. I don't want this curvature of my spine to flatten out. If I do this, that completely defeats the purpose of why we're doing this, which is to get air into the upper back and expand the back ribs. If I start to go like this, I'm expanding the front ribs, which is how we live a good portion of our life and exactly why we're doing this drill. So once I get a nice inhale, my back stays high, I'm going to exhale and push the ground away, trying to get even further, trying to get my sternum even further away from the ground. So I'm here. I'll demonstrate the first half as well so you guys can see it again. So that's 2 reps. These are really hard. There's not a lot of motion going on, but especially, it's going to be especially difficult at the beginning because your back's not going to open a ton. So it's going to be hard to get a lot of air in. It's going to feel like you're constantly running low on air, which is okay. So what I would do is do 1, 2, 3 quality breaths in a row, and then I would do exactly what I'm doing, just kind of move around for a second, and then get back into it and set up and go again. Really easy way to think about this that I would do is, so the more you do, the better. So you could put 5 minutes on the clock and just get as many quality breaths in that 5-minute span as you want, or maybe give yourself a breath count total, like say I'm gonna get 20 good breaths in, and then however many sets it takes you to do that is what it is. So I'll let you kind of play around with it, but I want you to at minimum play around with this every day, okay? Because this is something that the more you do it, the better you get at it. You can't do this enough. And we want to expedite the process of opening the back ribs This can help with stuff like shoulder restrictions. It can even help with stuff in the hips too, and it'll set us up to do more in the future. And of course, let me know if you have any questions.